Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama
Hare Krishna. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and the Sankirtan mission of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And this Prabhupada Disciples Association program is part of our mission to protect Prabhupada's legacy. So it is part of a larger program that we're developing called Krishna Consciousness Movement TV. So these programs that we're presenting every week are part of that scheduling that you'll see when we launch this channel on YouTube for people globally to take shelter of Prabhupada in his original mission, which was a pure mission that he very carefully hoped that we would preserve and maintain after his departure. Now, in the particular time that we're in, we've seen that many people have taken advantage of this mission for their own personal motive. This, there is no question, in terms of our understanding and practical experience. So this is not a passive group that's coming to a class simply for the matter of intellect. Yes, intelligence must be there and some commitment must be there. But remember, it's a mission. And we're looking for people in our group to participate in the work. It's also called Bhakti Yoga. There's a practical part to this. Just like when we were, Balaram in Australia knows, when we were working within the society back in the 70s, people were actively engaged in devotional service. It wasn't passive. This, of course, is a different format. We're using the internet and we're using modern technology to assist us. And trust me, it's a very valuable dovetailing of this medium because it is a big medium. People like to minimize it. Have you noticed that, Balaram? They minimize social media. That's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous, because social media is everywhere. It's massive. There are billions and billions of people in social media. Yet people say, oh no social media. Okay, that's your choice. But as far as a vehicle for reaching people and preserving Prabhupada's message in terms of communicating it with the innocent people that are interested, this is one of the means that can be used to spread Krishna consciousness, and it is a very valuable tool. That's why we're moving forward with Krishna Consciousness Movement YouTube TV. And on that TV network, we'll have Prabhupada lectures. We'll have Prabhupada chanting japa to assist our members in their japa classes. We'll have access to different transcendental literatures from various sources to prescribe to our membership so that they can get the books or read them online. There'll be online access to these books for you to read as well. There'll be kirtans from Srila Prabhupada. There'll be other selected kirtans that we'll include in the program, because this movement has a wonderful history. And I think it's the hope of our membership, especially our media team, that we can deliver this information for all of our members so they can capture the spirit, the true spirit of the Sankirtan mission, which has been adulterated by the current management of Prabhupada's mission, of course, which is the ISKCON group. Recently, Balaram, maybe you had a chance to look at the opening GBC meeting. It's on YouTube, and it was filmed last week, showing people what the GBC and the people in the ISKCON movement in India are doing to reconcile their differences. And it's a very educational sort of video that you want to watch. And you can make your own assessment or judgment to see if these people are speaking with the authenticity and the correct motivation to represent Prabhupada moving forward into history, the history of the modern world. Because Prabhupada started in 1965, he embarked on a great mission from India. He left Calcutta, and we're going to move forward in take a look at the Jaladuta diary here. See it here. This is the Jaladuta diary, and we were discussing it the other day, how valuable it is just to see the handwriting of the pure devotee and get an idea of his personal motive and his system of propagating Krishna consciousness from his own notes that he wrote down during his time with us. So India, preparation for passage to America aboard the Jaladuta. So here we go to the second page, and just see here. Now, I showed this the other day, but you can get an idea. There's number one. That was Prabhupada on August 13th in Calcutta. Srila Prabhupada's journey to America aboard the Jaladuta in 1965. So over there on the left-hand bottom corner, you see, and then look at the diagram. There's one. Prabhupada in Calcutta. He came to the port by himself. He had one of his sons with him. That's all the people that saw him off. So he left on his own in solitude. On August 17th, so you see he's gone down, he's going to pass by the tip of the southernmost part of India in Colombo. And then on August 3rd, August 22nd, Cochin. So that's as far as he made, from the 13th to the 22nd. And then they begin the travel over the Arabian Sea. So on the 4th of September, he arrived at the Suez Canal, then passed through the Mediterranean Sea and headed out onto the Atlantic Ocean. And we're going to read about all of those pastimes in this diary. So you want to make sure you become familiar with this information for your own spiritual enlivenment. Here, September 17th, he arrives in Boston, so that's 6. It's on the 17th, so that's the 6th stop. And then on September 19th, he arrived in New York. Such a great day, I must say. September 19th in New York, he arrived and got off the boat and had arrangements made for him to go to Butler, Pennsylvania with the Agarwal family. He stayed there for 3 weeks. So the route taken by the Jaladuta from Calcutta to New York, the dates indicate the places where the ship docked during the journey. And then we'll go to the next page. So this is the Scindia Steam Navigation Company Limited, 1965. And it shows their services. India, Pakistan, Burma, Ceylon, cargo, passenger services, Bombay, Kuchit, Karachi, Bombay, Marmagoa, Mangalore, ports, Cochin, passenger services on Konkan coast, Bombay to Panjim, via the coast ports. And I had a chance to meet the founder, the owner of the India steamship company, Srimati Morarji, when I was a brahmachari visiting India in 1975. Okay, and so we'll go to the next page. Yeah, here's Prabhupada on the far left there. This is the first drawing. Thank you, Vinkat. Excellent work. Srila Prabhupada sitting outside his room at the Radha Krishna temple at 2439 Chippiwada Kalan in Old Delhi before leaving for America. In front of him are the first 3 volumes of his English Srimad Bhagavatam. And we're also reading from those. They're so beautiful. The books themselves, the unedited aspects of it I find very attractive, and I know many of you that are with us do as well. And then on the right-hand side, the inside of Srila Prabhupada's room, the miniature dome indicates that the Radha Krishna deities are situated directly beneath this spot. And then down to the right here, the front entrance of the temple at 2439 Chippiwada Kalan, which Srila Prabhupada listed as his residence. And then to the left here at the bottom, the veranda outside Srila Prabhupada's room. Very humble quarters. And also in the spirit of the true sannyasi, austere. Sannyasi lives an austere life. And here we go to the right page. Thank you, Vinkat Bhatta Prabhu. With best compliments of the Scindia Steam Navigation Company Limited, Scindia House. Ballard Estate, Bombay. And here we have Prabhupada's name, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami. Yeah, thank you. And the postbox number 1846, 2439, Chippiwada Kala, Delhi 6, Delhi, Vrindavan. So he's giving some personal information. And there he's got his passport number, registered 005379. And there it is, his passport. And then we'll move ahead. There's some information about the Scindia steamship company. I just thought we'd skip over it. It's not really that important. Here we're looking at Srimati Morarji agreed to let Srila Prabhupada reside at the Scindia colony, a compound of apartments for Scindia employees, while he was waiting for his departure papers left. Srila Prabhupada stayed and did his typing in this room. The furniture is new and was not there at the time of his tenure. So that's at the top left-hand corner here. Simple. Hey, Dennis? Very simple setup. Sannyasi. Not a part of this materialistic world. Srila Prabhupada held his preaching programs in this room before he left for America. Little has changed since 1965, so you see this very humble setup. And Prabhupada was constantly preaching. This we can also do. And at the bottom there's a picture of the outside veranda of Srila Prabhupada's room, which is on the left, the room of G.N. Nagaram and his wife, who gave encouragement and support to Srila Prabhupada, is on the right. So this is the Jaladuta diary. This is as far as we'll go today. So I hope you enjoyed that. We're going to move forward with the chanting of Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Please chant along as if you're at the class personally with Srila Prabhupada. And then after that, we're going to have the reading of Caitanya-caritāmṛta from Prabhupada's unadulterated, unedited books, which we're representing as part of our mission, as part of our work. With His Grace, the wonderful Yaśodā-nandana Prabhu, who is so devoted to Prabhupada's mission and to the Sankirtan work of Lord Chaitanya. And it's a great blessing that he's with us this evening to deliver the discussion and the reading. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to the Prabhupada Disciples Association.
Saraswati Saraswati Bhushan Prabhupada ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnavinda ki jai. Nāmācārya Visila Hridas Thakur ki jai. Prem se kaho Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivāsadi Gaur Bhaktivedanta ki jai. Shri Radha Krishna Go Gopinath Sam Kundi Radha Kundi Giriyodhan ki jai. Vrindavan Dham ki jai. Navadvip Dham ki jai. Swami Bhaktivedanta ki jai. All glories to the assembled Lord. All glories to the assembled.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. O my Lord, Sri Krishna, the son of Vasudeva, the all-pervading personality of Godhead, I do offer my respectful obeisances unto you. Narayanam namaskritya, Narayanam namaskritya, Naram cheva narottamam, Naram cheva narottamam, Devim saraswatim vyasam, Devim saraswatim vyasam, Tato jayam mudirayat, Tato jayam mudirayat. One should utter the means of conquest, Srimad Bhagavatam or Sri Caitanya-caritāmṛta, after offering respectful obeisances, 1, to the personality of Godhead Narayana, 2, to the Nara Narayana Rishi, who is the supermost human being, 3, to the Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, then 4, to Srila Vyasadeva, the author. So welcome everyone to this reading and discussion or class from the Sri Caitanya-caritāmṛta. As with every event that we have, we will first read a few verses from the Adi Lila, chapter 1, from text 18 to 22, describing the meaning and the benefits of hearing the transcendental powerful message of Sri Caitanya-caritāmṛta. Adi Lila 1:18, 1:118. Jai Jai Sri Caitanya Jai Nityananda, Jaya Dvaita Chandra, Jaya Gaura Bhakta Brinda. Glory to Sri Caitanya and Nityananda. Glory to Advaita Chandra, and glory to all the devotees of Sri Gaura, Lord Chaitanya. Text 19. Etina Thakur Gaudiya ke Karya Chenoyatmasat, Etinera Charana Vandana Tiremorinat. These three deities of Vrindavana, Madan Mohan, Govinda, and Gopinatha, have absorbed the heart and soul of the Gaudiya Vaishnavas, followers of Lord Chaitanya. I worship their lotus feet, for they are the lords of my heart. Grantera Rambe Kari Mangala Charana, Guru Vaishnava Bhagavan Tinera Smarana. In the beginning of this narration, simply by remembering the spiritual master, the devotees of the Lord, and the personality of Godhead, I have invoked their benedictions. Text 21. Tinera smaranayai vigna vinashana, anayasayai nijavanchita purana. Such remembrance destroys all difficulties and very easily enables one to fulfill his own desires. Text 22. Se mangala charanai trivida prakar, Vastu Nirdesha Shirvada Namaskara. The invocation involved three processes: defining the objective, offering benediction, and offering obeisances. So again, thanks everybody for participating in the very auspicious reading of Sri Caitanya-caritāmṛta. Today we will be reading from Adi Lila, chapter 4, from text number 72. We will read a few verses. Text 72. Ananda chinmaya rasa pratibhavitabis tabirya eva nijarupata yakkalabhihi goloka eva nivasatya kilatma bhuto govindamari purusham tamaham bhajami. Ananda, bliss. Hold on here. Chit and knowledge. Maya, consisting of. Rasa, mellows. Prati, every second. Bhavitabihi, who are engrossed with. Tabihi, with those. Ya, who. Eva, certainly. Nijarupataya, with his own form. Kalabihi, who are parts of portions of his pleasure potency. Goloke, in Goloka Vrindavana. Eva, certainly. Nivasati, resides. Akila Atma, as the soul of all. Bhutaha, who exists. Govindam, Lord Govinda. Adipurusham, the original personality. Tam, him. Aham, I. Bhajami, worship. Translation. I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, who resides in his own realm, Goloka, with Radha, who resembles his own spiritual figure and who embodies the ecstatic potency, Aladini. Their companions are her confidants, who embody extensions of her bodily form and who are imbued and permeated with ever blissful spiritual rasa. Purport. This text is from Brahma Samhita 5:37. Text number 73. Krishner karaya iche rasa asvadan Kridar sahaya yeche shuna vivaran Krishnere, unto Lord Krishna. Karaya, cause us to do. Yeche, how. Rasa, the mellows. Asvadana, tasting. Kridara, of pastime. Sahaya, helper. Yeche, how. Shuna, please hear. Vivarana, the description. Now please listen to how Lord Krishna's consorts help him taste rasa and how they help in his pastimes. Text 74-75. Krishna kanta ganadiki trivida prakar eka lakshmi gan puri mahishi gana ar vrajangana rupa ar kanta gana sar Shri Radhika ete kanta ghanira vistar. Krishna kanta gana, the lovers of Lord Krishna. Deki, I see. Trivida, three. Prakara, kinds. Eka, one. Lakshmi gana, the goddesses of fortune. Pure, in the city. Mahishi gana, the queens. Ara, and Vraja Angana, of the beautiful women of Vraja. Rupa, having the form. Ara, another type. Kantagana, of the lovers. Sara, the essence. Shri Radhika Oete, from Srimati Radharani. Kantaganera, of the lovers of Krishna. Vistara, the expansion. Translation. The beloved consorts of Lord Krishna are of three kinds: the goddess of fortune, the queens, and the milkmaids of Vraja, who are the foremost of all. These consorts all proceed from Radhika. Text 76. Avatari Krishna yache kori avatar, amshini radha eti tino ganera vistar. Avatari, the source of all incarnations. Krishna, Lord Krishna. Yache, just as. Kare, makes. Avatara, incarnation. Amshini, the source of all portions. Radha, Srimati Radharani. Oete, from. Tina, three. Ganera, of the groups. Vistara, expansion. Translation. Just as a fountainhead, Lord Krishna is the cause of all incarnation, so Sri Radha is the cause of all these consorts. Text 77. Vaibhava Ganyera Tandra Angar Vibhuti, Bimba Pratibimba Rupa Mahishira Vaibhava Gana, the expansions, Yena, as it were, Tandra, of her, Anga, of the body, Vibhuti, powerful expansions, Bimba, reflections, Pratibimba, counter reflections, Rupa, having the form, Mahishira, of the queens, Tati, the expansion. Translation. The goddesses of fortune are partial manifestations of Srimati Radhika, and the queens are reflections of her image. Text 78. Lakshmi Gan Tandra Vaibhava Vilasam Sharupa, Mahishi Gana Vaibhava Prakasha Rupa, Lakshmi Gana, the goddesses of fortune, Tandra, her, Vaibhava Vilas, as Vaibhava Vilasa, Amsha, of plenary portions, Rupa, having the form, Mahishi Gana, the queens, Vaibhava Prakasha, of Vaibhava Prakasha, Swarupa, having the nature. Translation. The goddesses of fortune are her plenary portions, and they display the forms of Vaibhava Vilas. The queens are of the nature of her Vaibhava Prakash. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. I offer my respectful obeisances unto my spiritual master, Srila Prabhupada, who has opened my eyes, which were blinded by the darkness of ignorance, with the torchlight of knowledge. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Namine. I offer my respectful obeisances unto His Divine Grace, Swami A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupāda, who is very dear to Lord Krishna, having taken shelter at his lotus feet. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Our respectful obeisances are unto you, O spiritual master, servant of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami. You are kindly preaching the message of Lord Chaitanya Deva and delivering the Western countries, which are filled with impersonalism and voidism. Bhaktisiddhanta Shishyaya Bhaktivedanta Namine Prasannaya Prashantaya Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. I offer my obeisances unto my Guru Maharaja, who is a disciple of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, who is always calm and joyful, and who bears the name Bhaktivedanta. Bhagavad Vandanam Kadyam Guru Vandana Purvakam Kshiram Sharkara Yuktam Kadatehi Visheshataha. Worship of the Supreme Lord is naturally very sweet, just like milk is originally sweet. Just as milk becomes sweeter by adding a little sugar, in the same way, worship of the Supreme Lord becomes sweeter by first worshiping the bona fide Guru. Adadana strinam danter idam yache punaha punaha Srimaduru papadam bhoja dhulishyam janma janmani. Clasping a straw between my teeth, I repeatedly beg to attain the dust of the lotus feet of Srimad Rupa Goswami, birth after birth. Very nice. From Raghunath Das Goswami. Next text. No. Sri Krishna Caitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrindam Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. We discussed a few readings ago, how Srila Prabhupada in his books has answered the argument from certain critics or persons with a poor fund of knowledge that Srimati Radharani is not mentioned in the Srimad Bhagavatam. Whether or not she's directly mentioned or indirectly mentioned, she is mentioned there is one of the verses in connection with the Rasa Krida, the performance of the Rasa Lila. When all the gopis were doing this Rasa Lila dance with Krishna, one of the gopis left the Rasa dance, and it is described by Shukadev Goswami, Adarana Strinam Danter, that this particular gopi, which left the assembly of the Rasa Lila, that this gopi is Srimati Radharani. Another one of the criticism which is leveled is that the worship of Radharani was nowhere found in India until the king of Jagannath Puri, Maharaj Pratap Rudra, ordered a deity of Radharani to be made to be worshipped along with Krishna in some temple. Because we see that the original deity of Rupa Goswami in Jaipur, Radha Govinda, that the Radharani there was commissioned by King Maharaj Man Singh. So whatever the facts may be with those Radharani deities, we do know from Sri Caitanya-caritāmṛta and from Srimad Bhagavatam and numerous other literatures cited by the Goswamis and our Gaudiya Acharyas, that the personality of Radharani is mentioned in different Puranas, such as the Vishnu Purana, Brahma Vaivarta Purana, Padma Purana, Bhagavat Purana, different Samhitas such as Ananta Samhita, Sanat Kumar Samhita, and other Vaishnava literatures. So it is not a fact that Radharani is a imaginary deity. We see in this reading here in text number 72, Krishnadas Kaviraj is citing from the Brahma Samhita. He's explaining, I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord who resides in his own realm, Goloka, with Radha, who resembles his own spiritual figure and who embodies the ecstatic potency, Aladini. Their companions and her confidants who embody extensions of her bodily form and who are imbued and permeated with ever blissful spiritual rasa. This is from Brahma Samhita 537. We saw the last time we discussed this in text number 70, Krishna Kaviraj is quoting from the Ujjval Nilamani of Rupa Goswami, where he says, of these two gopis, Radharani and Chandravali, Srimati Radharani is superior in all respects. She is the embodiment of Mahabhava, and she surpasses all in good qualities. So this is very important because we see that Krishnadas Kaviraj systematically, very carefully goes to all different kinds of Vedic literatures and Vedic texts to establish the position of Krishna and Srimati Radharani. Is not some imaginary concoction as supposed and put forward by persons with a poor fund of knowledge. There's a very important verse in the beginning of Caitanya-caritāmṛta, which is cited in this chapter in text number 55, where it is described, Radha Krishna Pranavikratira Ladini Shaktirasmad, Ikatmanavapi Bhuvipura Devidam Gatautu, Chaitanyakyam Prakatamadhuna Tadvayam Chekyamaptam, Radha Baba Duti Suvalitam Nami Krishna Swarupam. The loving affairs of Sri Radha and Krishna are transcendental manifestations of the Lord's internal pleasure-giving potency. Although Radha and Krishna are one in their identity, they separated themselves eternally. Now these two transcendental identities have again united in the form of Sri Krishna Chaitanya. I bow down to him who has manifested himself with the sentiment and complexion of Srimati Radharani, although he is Krishna himself. Prabhupada explains this text is from the diary of Srila Swarup Damodar Goswami. It appears as the fifth of the first 14 verses of Sri Caitanya-caritāmṛta. Now, sometimes devotees have asked me, why do you keep reading from these first few verses before the beginning of any of these Sri Caitanya-caritāmṛta classes? Because it is described in one of these verses in chapter 1 that if you carefully read these verses, I'm going to find the exact verse because this is very important to discuss. It's the Adi Lila chapter 1, text number 21. Tinera smarane ai vigna vinashana, anayase ai nijavanchita purana. Such remembrance destroys all difficulties and very easily enables one to fulfill his own desires. Now, reading of Sri Caitanya-caritāmṛta and discussing the transcendental truths revealed by Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, who incidentally considered himself a disciple of all the 6 Goswamis. He was trained by the 6 Goswamis in Vrindavan. So this literature is a very, very confidential literature. But it says, by remembering the previous verse, by remembering the spiritual master, the devotees of the Lord and the personality of God, I have invoked their benedictions. Because the point is that in the material world, we never know when the end of this mortal body will come. There's one lecture where Srila Prabhupada, as soon as you're born, your death is coming. Your death is certain. And you never know when it will come. There can be so many different situations. Throughout the history of the world, we have seen how so many persons made very elaborate plans to live forever, but nobody will live forever. That is not possible. We see in the Srimad Bhagavatam, in the story of Hiranyakashipu, how he performed very severe austerities. And he went to Lord Brahma requesting a boon that he could not be killed during the daytime, during the nighttime, by any man, by any animal, by any demigods. So many different benedictions he wanted. But when he offended his son, Prahlad Maharaj, and threatened his son, then Lord Narasimha came to protect his devotees. So this is a very important point, should not be neglected. All of these classes and readings of Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, Sri Chaitanya, they're very important. It may be tedious, it may take some time out of our busy schedules. We have to sit, you have to listen to my lowly self talking, but don't worry about myself. Worry about hearing the statement of Srila Prabhupada, the statement of Srimad Bhagavatam, Sri Caitanya-caritāmṛta. That is the ultimate benefit. We've often discussed how in the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, Suta Goswami, who is instructing the 60,000 sages at Nimesharanya, is explaining to them, now that Lord Krishna has departed, now that Lord Krishna has departed, where did the principles of religion go? Krishna svadhamopagate dharma jnana divisaha, that Krishna has gone back to his own abode, along with transcendental knowledge, religion, and everything. Where do we get the principle of Bhagavatam? And in the Bhagavatam itself, in the first canto, is explained that the Srimad Bhagavatam has arisen after the departure of Lord Krishna. Prabhupada says in the purport that the Srimad Bhagavatam is non-different than Lord Krishna himself. This is the manifested presence of Lord Krishna. Very important point. In the same way, the Sri Caitanya-caritāmṛta is the direct manifestation of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his transcendental associates. Very special literature. This is not a literature which should be neglected. Very, very special literature. I've often told the story when we were in Calcutta in the early 1970s. One of the devotees went to Calcutta University, and in one of the bookstores there, the book stalls, he found an old copy of Caitanya-caritāmṛta written in English, translated in English. It was old Bengali English, British English, and he brought this to Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada looked at it, and Prabhupada asked him, so you like this book? He says, oh yes, but it would be nice if you, Srila Prabhupada, could translate this book. So Prabhupada made certain conditions that I will translate the book if they can publish it within a short amount of time. And some way or other, the devotees in Los Angeles, they made it happen. A lot of sacrifices, a lot of work, a lot of long days, and finally, by 1975, the entire Sri Caitanya-caritāmṛta was published, 15,000 verses. Now, when we carefully analyze and study what is being discussed here, this is the revelation of the kingdom of God. This is the revelation of Krishna himself, his dearest companion, Srimati Radharani, his associates in Goloka Vrindavan, and all the tattvas, the transcendental truths of Lord Chaitanya. In the Chaitanya Bhagavat, which is published after the departure of Lord Chaitanya, there is a very important statement by Vrindavan Das Thakur, after describing, in the process of describing the activities of Lord Chaitanya, he mentions on Adyapi Lila Koro that right now, please bear in mind, this statement was made after 1534, when Lord Chaitanya departed. Right now, these activities of Lord Chaitanya are being directly experienced by some devotees. Just like Prabhupada one time stated, it is not that his Guru Maharaj was dead and gone. Similarly, it is not that Krishna is dead and gone. Krishna is always present, manifested 24 hours a day in some universe in the material world. He's also present in the spiritual world. He's also present within our heart. But to understand these transcendental truths requires submissive oral reception. Everyone has heard the famous statement by Srila Prabhupada, do not try to see God, but act in such a way that God will want to see you. This is a very important point by Srila Prabhupada. Act in such a devotional way that Krishna will want to help you. Krishna will want to see you, your devotion. Just like in the Mahabharata, there was the story when Lord Krishna went to the house of Duryodhana, and Duryodhana had cooked a very elaborate feast for Krishna, but Krishna would not take any of his preparations. But when Vidura saw that Lord Krishna was coming, he was so excited, he just grabbed a banana, he peeled it, and in his excitement, he offered Krishna the banana peel. Krishna started to eat the banana peel. Why? Because Krishna saw the devotion, the intense, loving devotion of Vidura. Now, this may be a very unusual incident. We see in the Srimad Bhagavatam, it is described that the gopis, the cowherd girls of Vrindavan, are the highest devotees because their whole lives were completely absorbed in Krishna, how to please Krishna, how to satisfy Krishna. And the topmost of these devotees is Srimati Radharani. There are so many statements in the literatures of the Goswamis describing the exalted position of Radharani. I've told that story a few times. I was in Vrindavan in May of 1977. I had the inconceivable good fortune of being with Srila Prabhupada every night for a few hours for several weeks to massage his feet and care for him, and if you need to go anywhere, to the bathroom, anywhere. So one night he described, do you hear all this? I said, what, Srila Prabhupada? I said, the monkeys, the peacocks, the parrots, the sounds, do you hear all this? I said, yes, Srila Prabhupada. So Prabhupada says, what do you think of this place? I said, Prabhupada, it's very nice. And Prabhupada said, this place is the highest place in the universe. So I put to Srila Prabhupada that, Prabhupada, you have also said at some other time that Navadvip and Mayapur is the highest place in the universe. Prabhupada, both places are highest places. But in this place, it is very special because Krishna and Balaram, Radharani and the gopis, they came here directly in this area. And so and Prabhupada said, you like this place? I said, yes. In one of your books, in the Caitanya-caritāmṛta, you quote from the Adi Purana, Treloke Pritividanya Yatra Vrindavanam Bhubi Tatrapi Gopikartha Parta Radha Bidam Mama. That in this place, this Vrindavan is very, very fortunate on this earth. Why? Because Srimati Radharani and the gopis came here. Prabhupada says, oh yes, that is very special, very nice. So now you like this place? I said, yes, Prabhupada. So now make arrangements to stay here. So this is the transcendental mercy of the pure devotee. He reveals to us, because we do not have such knowledge of Sanskrit or Bengali or technical knowledge of scriptures, but Prabhupada has revealed by his hard work and his dedication to Lord Chaitanya and his mission, these mysteries of God. Where does he live? What does he do? What does Krishna do? When does he come? Who is he accompanied with? Just like if a king goes somewhere, he usually doesn't go by himself. He'll go there with his assistants. He'll go there with his confidential associates, his ministers, his advisors, his entourage. So Krishna comes with associate. Just like it is described in the literatures of the Goswami and Narottam Das Thakur, Radha Krishna Nitya Lila Karila Prakash, that this eternal pastimes of Lord Krishna, Radha Krishna, is eternally manifested in one universe after another. And the comparison is given just like the sun right now is over a particular place, and again it keeps rotating and all around. The sun will be there exactly at one point. It is not that because the nighttime comes, the sun has died. No. Similarly, when Krishna leaves this planet, he goes to another planet to perform his pastimes. So this is a very, very special benediction of Srila Prabhupada, that he has revealed these translations of Vedic literature to explain very clearly the position of Krishna, his topmost confidential associate, Srimati Radharani, the gopis, the spiritual world. What are the activities there? What is the exalted position? We also see in another place in the Brahma Samhita, Golokayim Navasati Akilatma Bhuto, that Krishna is always there in his abode of Goloka Vrindavana, always there, and he comes down to this world to save, to display his activities, to bring back the conditioned souls absorbed in this material world, so that if one somewhere or other happens to remember Krishna at the time of death, he either will go back to Godhead or get another birth, depending on his situation and mental situation at the time of departure. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Glorious to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you very much, Yaśodā-nandana Prabhu, for the wonderful presentation of Krishna Consciousness to our membership. And as we move through the broadcast this evening, we're going to be calling upon a variety of devotees to speak. Dharma Bhavana in Texas, Balaram in Australia, Ron Singh, Bhakta Ron Singh in Sacramento, and Puranjana Tim Lee in California. So I wanted to mention further your comments that it is very difficult to understand these pastimes of Lord Chaitanya and the explanations given by Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami in this literature, because we must be qualified by our own practical surrender and service to understand these topics. Prabhupada's presenting them for us to hear, and in this way we can develop an ambition to make advancement in spiritual life through our own personal practice. Practice makes perfect. And there are all so many rules and regulations that we must follow throughout our entire life. This is not just a weekend vacation. Prabhu, yes, it is a lifetime commitment. Prabhupada said, I can remember back hearing that at a class. Prabhupada said, just give your one life, your whole life to Krishna, this one lifetime. And this will be your greatest success. Now think about it. When you're a young man, you're thinking, my whole life? Are you kidding me? How long is one life in relation to eternity? It's like the flicking on and off of a light, Dennis. A light switch on and off. Before you know it, you think you won't get old. But before you know it, you look in the mirror, you see, oh my God, I'm old. No matter how you try to take your picture, you look terrible. At least That's how most people would say, oh my God, look at how bad I look. Look at how good I used to look. You look at your old pictures, hey, Balaram, back in the 70s as a devotee, you think, geez, will I ever get old? And then before you know it, here it is, 2023, and time is marching. And people want to know Krishna. They just think it's some kind of cheap thing. No, it's not cheap. Why do they think it's cheap, Balaram? Because of false ego. The false ego is so contaminating for the conditioned soul. Prabhupada said it, the material body, the material mind is a bad bargain for the spirit soul because we are covered by layers and layers and layers of contamination and false ego. You think you're a big person, but we're not. In fact, we're insignificant. We're 1/10,000th, the tip of a hair size, Lord Chaitanya explained. Insignificant. But people are so arrogant. They think they can just understand everything about life with their little minds, like the frog in the well. He's in the well. He's trying to understand the length and breadth of the ocean. Can he? No. How big is it? Well, Prabhupada gives that example. We've all heard it. And then he expands, is it this big? Is it this big? He's guessing. How can you understand Krishna from your insignificant little position in this world? A speck, 1/10,000th, the tip of a hair size. That's our size. We're not big. We may think we're big because of money. Oh, you have money, you become Mr. Big Shot, or you're famous. Oh, Mr. Big Shot. And you have all kinds of facility, but look what happens. Remember this, Prabhus. Money, fame, fortune, these things can be a great curse for the conditioned soul. A great curse. Recently in America, here in Canada, there was a famous actor from Ottawa. His name was Matthew Perry, I think. And he just passed away 2 days ago in his hot tub. He died. Now, when you look at his history, he came from Canada, from Ottawa. He went to Hollywood. He ended up in a TV series called Friends. Became internationally known. Did it help him? No. He became completely confused about who he was, and he resorted to a life of addiction to alcoholism and pharmaceutical drugs. That's what he got from his material success. This false ego can be very contaminating. And in order to associate with Krishna, one has to be qualified. Prabhupada gives the example, Yaśodā-nandana Prabhu, of a person wanting to see the president. Oh, I want to go see the president. But what is your qualification? Can anybody just get in to the presidential office, Dennis? Oh, I'm a citizen. I want to go see the president. So what? You're not getting in. You may try to break in to the White House, but that also is a mistake. You cannot get in. So don't think, we should not think that we can just all of a sudden understand Krishna without qualification. Krishna consciousness means service and surrender, like we're surrendering our time this evening. It's only 4.5 hours a week. But some people think, oh, it's not important. I'll go do something else. This is their choice. Everybody has independent free will based on false ego, based on material desires, based on the modes of material nature. So if you want to know Krishna, you have to be qualified. And that qualification comes through constant effort to learn about Krishna consciousness from the bona fide sources and from the bona fide pure devotee, which is our goal here at the Prabhupada Disciples Association, Hare Krishna Society, is to present Prabhupada, because Prabhupada, it was interesting to note, seeing my godbrothers speak recently, Yaśodā, how they're articulating Krishna Prema without any reference to Prabhupada. Just they've read the books and then they've memorized it and then they're presenting it like there's some kind of Prema Bhaktas. We call it pretending. You're pretending that you're on the transcendental platform and you're living in Vrindavan with Krishna. Come on. We know how difficult it is. We're all struggling in this world to become Krishna consciousness, Krishna conscious. And we do it by chanting our rounds every day without fail. Hey, Dennis? 16 rounds. It's a minimal requirement. And along with that, the 4 regulated principles, and along with that, applying ourselves as best we can, depending on our situation. If we have a job, if we're successful, you may not be able to do practical preaching work because you're busy at the work, but you may give a donation towards the preaching work if it's needed and to advance the cause. So in this way, you can be surrendered in whatever field of life you're in by the different facilities that Krishna has awarded you to render service to Srila Prabhupada and to his bona fide mission, which is the unadulterated truth. So we're going to move forward again and have Yaśodā-nandana speak to us, and then we'll call upon our guests. And any questions that you may have, you can put them in the chat box and we'll try to get to them, or you can put your hand up if you so choose. All glories to Prabhupada. Yaśodā-nandana Prabhu, if you could further.
I'm going to read one chapter, one paragraph.
Yes.
From the, this is, let me just get the thing here. This is from a lecture by Srila Prabhupada in Los Angeles, California, on November 23rd, 1968. November 23rd, 1968. Introduction to Bhagavad Gita as it is. Srila Prabhupada says, devotee, what is the proper relationship of devotee to Radha, Radhika? Srila Prabhupada. Radharani is Devi Maya, just like we are in our material conditional life. We are under the material energy. Similarly, in our liberated state, we have to become under the spiritual energy. That spiritual energy is Radharani. We are acting at the present moment under material energy because our body is made of material energy. So when you are liberated, then you are liberated, you will develop your body of spiritual energy. That spiritual energy is Radharani. So you have to become under the control of some energy. You're also energy. You are marginal energy. Marginal energy means you may be under the control of the spiritual energy, or you may be under the control of material energy, your marginal position. But when you are under the control of the material energy, that is your precious condition, struggle for existence. And when you are under spiritual energy, that is your life of freedom. Radharani is spiritual energy and Durga or Kali is material energy. So those who are materialists, they worship Durga, Kali, the material, different forms of material energy. And so in both the cases, there is a word in Sanskrit, it's called Shakta, Shakta. Shakta, the word from Shakti. Shakti means energy. I just wanted to address a point I started in the previous discussion, that in the material world, everything is very temporary here. So we have a situation that we do not know how long we will live. The notice can be given at any moment. When we were in Bombay to meet Srila Prabhupada in December of 1972, we related the story that took place in Bangalore where we had approached a very rich man to give a donation. And the man replied to us, he was about to close his shop. He had a very opulent silk shop selling silk saris and silk clothing. And he told us, well, God is everywhere, Brahman is everywhere. You can ask so many people to give donation. And we told him, well, God is also in your lockbox, in your safe. You can release him also if you like. So he liked that argument. He thought it was pretty clever. When we related that argument to Srila Prabhupada, Prabhupada gave us what you should tell him is that Krishna is very kind. He sees how much you give, but he also sees how much you keep for yourself. So you tell him like that in a very gentle way. So this is the same situation in the world that we're in. We never know when it will be time to go, and we have to remember, what have we done for Krishna? What have we sacrificed for Krishna's service? What have we sacrificed for Srila Prabhupada and the mission of Lord Chaitanya? And the more we sacrifice for the mission, the more benefit we will get. Not that we work or do